What's up, guys? My name is Ty, and I have Gabby here with me, and we're Weddings Made Perfect podcast. And we are going to be talking about pros and cons on hiring a wedding planner today. So, if you are just tuning in with us, we are Weddings Made Perfect podcast. We help you guys out with anything that's wedding related. So, this episode, like I said, is about hiring a wedding planner. Kind of like the pros and cons, because we kind of need those kind of help. And if you are definitely having a more extravagant or luxury style wedding, you definitely may want to hire a wedding planner to help out, instead of just doing it by yourself. So anyways, if I was a wedding planner, I'd be like, hello, so do you want to have these type of flowers?
Do I talk like that?
Or do you want to have these type of flowers? I believe you should have these type of flowers.
I believe you're fired.
I honestly would love to be a planner for just one time. But anyways, guys, like I said, this wedding or episode is going to be about wedding planners and talking about that. Once again, please subscribe for our YouTube page. Also, give this a like if you do like this. If you don't, it's fine. Comment why you don't like this. Just
be honest. We can take it.
We'll take it. I could take a punch here and there. But no, seriously, subscribe. Also, if you have any informations about like an upcoming episode that you may want to hear or something like that, please email us at weddingsmadeperfectpodcast@gmail.com, or you go on our Facebook or Instagram page. We'd love to hear it. And then also, if you want to just listen to our podcast. We're actually on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts or whatever type of platform you want. We're on it, but definitely Spotify is probably one of our top ones. So definitely check us out there if you want to throw us in your library, and when you're driving on your work or driving to a wedding, maybe you want to listen to us. I don't know.
That's a lot of weddings.
A lot of weddings. But honestly, you may have no idea where to start on wedding planning. So that's why we're here. We have all of these. If you have all this money but have no idea like where to start, or like you have no exposure to weddings at all, or how to book things, or what's important, what's not important, or something like that, wedding planners may be an option for you. Now, they are pricey. I'm just going to let you know. They are a service. Definitely you want to pay for them. And, especially if it's like a year out or something like that, they will sit there for a whole year and like help you out, learn like what you want, what you don't want, what your vision is and stuff like that. And kind of invest into your life. Like they are great, but like I said, though, they are a service. So it's going to be a little costly. And so if you're doing more of an intimate style wedding, it may not be an option. Honestly, what a good option would be is just building an actual website, which last week you heard about building a wedding website is kind of basically a planner without being a planner. So if you're doing a more intimate style, I would just probably stick with the planning of just the website. But if you're doing a larger wedding that has a lot of people coming, or whatever you have plans, I would probably get a wedding planner, because they will take the stress out from you on that day. You don't have to really worry about having to go through the motion of that. They'll just take everything care for you, and they'll build a timeline and make sure that everything's on top of everything and everything's all good. So real fast, before we go and deep dive into this topic, I do have 6 reasons as to why you should hire a wedding planner. But before I do that, I'm going to give the mic over to Gabby, and she's going to talk about this awesome sponsorship that we have, and also a cool little tip.
Mm-hmm. So today's podcast is sponsored by Weddings Made Perfect. Oh, just kidding. It's not.
We sponsored ourselves? Wow, I'm keeping this in. We sponsor ourselves.
That's really bad.
Today's podcast
really
sponsorship is sponsored by Weddings Made Perfect Podcast. Get your wonderful podcast and wedding information here with Weddings Made Perfect Podcast. Check them out. Yeah.
But seriously, today's podcast is sponsored by Endy Events, LLC. Endy Events is a St. Louis-based events company that specializes in photography, videography, DJ, and photo booth services, as well as officiant and event planning and coordination services. You can find Endy Events at endyevents.com. That's ENDY events.com, or you can follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Endy Events. And then Ty, our tip for today is to get advice from people within the wedding industry about your choices and the vendors you are considering. So if you are lucky enough to have, a really close friend that works in the industry around the city that you live in, it's very, very likely that they're going to have opinions on the vendors that you're going to book. If you don't have a friend within the industry, if you have booked maybe your venue, or say the first person you fell in love with was your photographer, and you know that they have your best interest at heart, ask them. If you're like, I've 30 different options for a DJ, and I'm just, I'm not in this industry and I have no idea, then just ask your vendor. I promise you, they'll have an opinion.
We will have
We'll always have an opinion
an
for you.
honest opinion.
An honest, exactly. And they will tell you exactly what they think, because they not only know, that particular vendor's past like services, but them as a person too. So it can be really helpful to kind of get that inside perspective from somebody that kind of knows what they're talking about.
I agree. It's definitely needed. And then literally, if you don't want to, hire an actual wedding planner, definitely try to ask at least somebody that you've already hired, or like a service, or anybody that has any sorts of knowledge of the local wedding industry around you, because they will honestly give you an honest opinion. Especially me, I'll definitely tell you who you should go with and who you should not.
Yeah.
Because St. Louis is very interesting. So, but yeah, like I said, I have 6 basic reasons why you should probably hire a wedding planner if you are thinking of getting one. So I'm gonna go through the list first, so you could kind of write it down, and then I kind of go more in depth of each one. But for number 1 is to help you budget constraints. Number 2, to fight for your vision. Number 3, to keep things on track. Number 4, to get you vendors discounts. That is very hard to say for some reason. Number 5, to handle ceremony to reception flipping. And also number 6, to coordinate the entire wedding day. So like I said, they can save you money because they know what's more important, and also able to stretch your money out kind of like across the whole board on like what you may want to get. So wedding planners will definitely help you out. So, but at the same time, though, they are kind of pricey. So I'm just letting you know. So to help you with the budget constraints, they will, like I said, they'll kind of see like what's the importance that you have. But at the end of the day, you have to understand like it is your vision and stuff like that. So you have the final say. Try to not make them, like when you hire a wedding planner, make sure that they understand what you're going for, and not them feeding you all this information and trying to like persuade you to do one thing. Like definitely hire them for like who they are, but at the same time, though, which I'll go more in depth on that, but like hire somebody that will see your vision and make it happen, even if there's like a way or like a loophole to get it, or the best as possible. So like I said, they'll fight for your wedding vision and keep everything on track, in addition to help couples budgets and supervising sticky details like legal contracts. The most important perks of a planner is having someone who will fight for your wedding vision from start to finish. While many vendors tackle more than one wedding per day or per weekend, the planner is focused only on your special day and will push to make sure everything goes according to your unique plan. So what I'm trying to say is like your vendors, so like your photographers, your videographers, your DJs, your whatever, if you go with an actual like large service, like in-house service place, sorry to say it, but they're going to have 3 or 4 other weddings happening that same day. So they like, yeah, your photographers and videographers on that day will just focus on yours actual wedding day. But like if there's something goes wrong, and if you try to call the management or the owner of the company, they're going to like probably give you a short answer because they have 3 or 4 other weddings happening. But if you hire a wedding planner and they're going through everything on your day, that is what they're focused on. They're only focusing on yours because that's all they have is you on that day. When you get a planner, they black out that day and you have them the whole time. Like undivided attention. Like if you need something, they'll help you out because their focus is making sure that your day goes flawless. So definitely that's a kind of an insight on that. They keep things stress free for you. So it's your wedding day. You should be focusing on yourself and having fun, not having to worry about the little things that are happening. So definitely focus on just having fun, making sure you're getting a nice little cocktail drink or just whatever, floats your boat. Just making sure that you're having fun. That's all that matters. Also, they can probably get you some vendor discounts. Some actual wedding planners are preferred vendors for some places and services. So they may actually be able to help you out getting discounts because they may be associated with like like a florist or like some like cake shop or whatever. Like they may be able to help you out get some sort of
Yeah,
discounts.
they generally have a list of preferred vendors that they've already kind of contacted and like they're very good friends with and they trust. That's a big one. Is they're not going to send you somewhere that is going to screw you over on your day of or not put you first or anything because that looks badly not only on that vendor itself but on your wedding planner as well. So they're going to send you the people they know and trust.
Yeah, and so definitely ask them and see like the
Yeah.
list and try to see like if they may actually have some discounts on that because you never know.
Yeah.
Also, number 5, to handle ceremony and reception flipping. So what that means is if you're having maybe like a place or let's say you go to a venue and they have like one specific area where it's kind of like the ceremony place and reception place, instead of you having to worry about switching the chairs to tables and chairs now. Like you don't have to worry about that. You go have some fun, take some photos, take some videos with your photographer or videographer, have a cocktail hour, go do whatever you want. While that's happening, the wedding planner will be there and organizing it with her team or his team and flipping the ceremony location into the reception and making sure that decor is set, the centerpieces are set, the candles are lit, like everything's all great. So that's how when you walk in, you have this nice like wow factor of like, wow, like it's beautiful. You don't have to worry about flipping it on your day. I mean, that's not fun sitting there in your wedding dress or your tuxedo and, putting chairs away and then putting out tables and then like getting everything all ready. Like you don't have to worry about that. Like you want to be able to just enjoy time with your friends and stuff like that and family. So have them handle all the ceremony and reception flipping and you don't have to worry about that. Which comes to number 6, they coordinate your entire wedding day. So meaning from right when you wake up to get your hair done all the way to you leaving out of the reception with like the limousine or a car or something. They're going to be there to help you out from the whole day. So definitely use them as much as you can to do that. That's kind of basically like in a sense of like what you should be, kind of the 6 reasons why you should hire a wedding planner. Now I'm going to talk about before hiring what you should look for the wedding planner, like personality wise and stuff. So before hiring your wedding planner, this is what you should look for like into them to make sure that like if you want to even potentially go with them. And I'm gonna go through the topics real fast. Like I said, there are 6. Okay, so these are the 6 things you should be looking for, like as the wedding planner, like their personality and like themselves. So, just 1. A free consultation. 2, a planner's personality. 3, a planner's individual background or experience. 4, what services are included. 5, their average response time. And 6, simple honesty. So when you're hiring a wedding planner, you definitely want to see if they have like a free consultation or even like some sort of consultation just to kind of like go through the motion of like what they can have offer, because you never know what they could have offer. And sometimes some larger wedding planners may have some like hidden fees or some hidden like services that you may not know about. So definitely having the consultation, kind of like picking their brain on like how they are, like what their style is and how they could help you out, make your vision possible. Definitely try to see if it's, you could be able to do that for free. If not, if they have some sort of fee, that's still fine, just regardless. But definitely have some sort of consultation with a wedding planner before even booking. Because if you just book them right off the bat, then that's chaotic right there. So you don't want to have that. Also, the planner's personality, you definitely want to hire somebody that kind of is in the same ballpark as you. Like, you don't want to have like this wild wedding planner while you're just wanting a basic, conservative, very calm wedding. You don't want somebody to like, come up with all these ideas that doesn't even like fit your type of personality. So definitely try to see or book somebody that has your same style, because at the end of the day, if you hire somebody that doesn't follow like how you are, then it's just going to be just a bad day. So just definitely focus on that. The planner's individual background experience. Sad to say it, but definitely ask people around, or like, you know, talk to places that have worked with a certain wedding planner, or maybe there's a friend or somebody that gone with this wedding planner or something. Ask the experience, like see what it was like for them. You could easily go to, like, let's say you have your place already booked, but you just want a planner to help you out throughout the day. Ask that place, be like, hey, have you worked with this person? Have you heard about this person? Like, what is their experience like? If not, ask them personally. Ask their experience. How many weddings have they done? What have they done? Can you show me work? Like, what type of background do you have? Like, you don't want to hire somebody that's just, oh, I want to be a wedding planner and I've never done it
Yeah.
before.
No,
Like,
I plan my own wedding, so I'm like an expert now.
exactly. Like, you want to have somebody that has experience and have kind of, the contacts.
Yeah.
Like, you want to have somebody that knows people around the industry, because they will cut corners and make sure that they'll be able to, give you the best day possible, even though you are, like I said, paying for their services. But the thing is like, in the longevity, like, they're going to give you discounts and make sure that you get what you need to get for the vision that you want. So just saying. Even what service are included, you want to make sure that, like I said, there's no like hidden services or any services fees, or you never know, may have like a special like perk or something. If you go through like a certain vendor or something, you may get something else for free, or some other services of some sort. Like, you never know what they are. Honestly, this should be number one. Their average response time. You definitely want to make sure that like they are digitally like. Hold on. You definitely want to make sure that they can respond in a more quicker, I guess, outcome. Like, you want to make sure that when you're texting them or calling them, like, they could get back to you as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to have like a, ask them a question, then all of a sudden like a day later them responding back. Like, I get it, maybe like once or twice, but like
Yeah.
after
It's
a
in the
while,
job description of a wedding planner to be available almost all the time.
yeah. And I'm not saying like they need to be immediately like a second after you text them at like 3
or
o'clock
2
in the
a.m.
morning.
Like, that's not okay.
Yeah. But like 10 o'clock on a Tuesday, like if you send a question, they should be able to respond no more than 5 minutes. I mean, like, that's, to me, like 5 minutes should be just like an average in a way. 5 or 10 minutes should be good. But in a way, though, on the day of, though, they should be like immediately like seconds.
Yeah.
So
Well, I would say the week of, they should be at your disposal.
yeah, because they blacked you out on that day, specifically. So they should be honestly there for you as much as possible. Also, simple honesty. So this is kind of hard to like, I guess, figure out. And what I'm trying to say is, simple honesty is them actually being honest to you about certain subjects or certain themes or like ideas, as opposed to just saying yes. You don't want a yes man or yes woman where you could throw all these out and there's like yes, 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 I could do that, I could do that, I could do that, I could do that. And then like at the end of it, them not actually exceeding what you want.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it just becomes just kind of half-ass. Like, you want to actually have somebody that's like willing to say no or even say yes for certain things and be able to do it and have the outcome of doing it. So, because you need somebody that is an honest person.
Yeah.
And if you are paying for their services, I would want somebody to be like, that's a really good idea, but honestly, the logistic side of things, your budget's only this. I don't think a $10,000 centerpiece would be good enough for you. I mean, that's a very like extreme outlook on that.
Yeah. But then what it should be is not just, no, I think that's a bad idea. It should be, no, I think that's a bad idea, but here's what I suggest that we do instead within your budget. What do you think of this? If you don't like this, I'll find you another option. Proactive problem solving.
And that's what I'm trying to say is like they need to be able to solve a problem in a best of way without going as a yes man or yes woman or just whatever. Like it just
Or referring to you. I mean, if you've hired them to take care of something, it shouldn't be like, oh, this is becoming a problem. What do you think about it? Like, no, figure this out.
Yeah. And then also this is kind of like a extra piece, insurance coverage. Make sure your planner has liability insurance. I know that's like not fun or like something you should really have to worry about, but definitely make sure that they have some sort of liability insurance because let's say on your wedding day, they are up on a 6-foot ladder putting down some like garland or decor of some sort, and then all of a sudden they fall off the ladder and break their leg. And then they try to come to you and like try to sue you. Like you want to make sure that like, they are covered. So that's if they do get hurt on the job or if something goes wrong, just in any way possible, they have insurance to cover it where it is not coming out of your pocket or anything like that. And making sure that like you read that fine line of like, this is what it is, because you definitely don't want to have something happen like that where they try to come back at you, but in retrospect, like they actually, need to have this.
That's a great point. And likely they have that included in their contract.
Yeah, this is kind of more like people that are like freelanced. I mean, I know like if you go to like K&Co or even for like indie events or stuff like that, like they will have a company insurance log or something like that where they'll be able to cover their employees or their wedding planners. But this is more like a freelance. Like if you have like somebody that's just on their own or just doing it themselves, definitely ask them and see like what type of insurance they have. And they should have at least a liability insurance for, themselves just in case it happens. But like, for example, if you hire Gabby from Indie Events, like she's covered from Indie Events. So like you don't have to really worry about that. But it's still a good ask though, like for places that to see if they have those type of insurances. But it's like I said though, it's mainly for just like a freelance. So it's not fun to talk about insurance and it's not really great. But like at the same time, like I said, like this podcast is built for you guys to kind of think of the things that you would never really think about. And so definitely insurance is one of those things, is because anything could happen where, maybe you want some like sparkler fire cannon thing and all of a sudden she stands too close to your wedding planner, stand close to it, and she gets 3rd-degree burn accidentally because something went wrong. And then now she's trying to get you guys. Like you never know what could happen. So I definitely advise you to ask what type of insurance they have. So I actually have a small little tip, which is kind of what I've been kind of saying throughout this whole segment so far, is some planners tack on extra charges for design services. So make sure you know what you're getting from the start. And some coordinators won't set up any decor unless you literally ask them and state it in their contract. So there have been some weird, sticky situations where they get a wedding planner and they order all the stuff, but on the day of they will go to their like reception area or something and nothing is set up, and they're just like, that was like the whole point of you is it's weird. It's like the whole job of them is to do that, but if you physically don't state it in the consultation or contract, that's like you say, hey, I want you to set this up. If you don't say that to them, there is a chance that they may not actually set it up. And then all of a sudden you're walking into the reception with no table set, and anything set.
Here is exactly how that probably happened. So what I've noticed a lot is brides are looking for a day of coordinator. So they want somebody to come in on the day of to help them keep the timeline on track, make sure that the reception hall looks great. But they've handled, booking all of their vendors because, no big deal. They just need somebody to cover those last minute details. No problem. However, if you say book with Indie Events for day of coordination and you set all of your decor out, we're not going to put it up for you because that wasn't, that specific job. You know what I mean? Like you definitely have to be very specific on what you're looking for,
Yes.
and they'll tell you exactly what it costs. Like, they don't have any problem telling you that.
No.
But you'll know going in that all those things are either covered or you need to get them done.
Yeah, because it's just you got to understand that like yeah, they're wedding planners and stuff like that, but you got to understand that like what they're all getting, what all the services and stuff. Because to me, a wedding planner is just helping you plan out the day. So physically, my mindset is they're just helping you out plan the day, and then they'll go on your wedding day and just kind of coordinate throughout the day to make sure that everything's running on the proper timeline.
Right.
But once again, coordinating, planning. I've never said the word decor or decorating. I've never used those words.
Right.
So terminology wise, they may think that you already have somebody doing the decor or decorations, and they got the services. They got all the decorations that you wanted. They planned everything out. They coordinated all of that like situations of it, but you never stated, are you guys able to do that service as well? And if you don't say that, odds are they're not going to do it. And then all of a sudden you're going to be in this weird situation where you're going to walk into your ceremony or reception and nothing is set up. And you don't want that to happen. So definitely I advise you on the consultation or even like on the meetings or stuff like that, please state while you're creating the contract, do you guys have the service for having the design services? And it's going to be an extra charge. They're going to tax something, or maybe they may add it in just for free or something. I don't really know how that fully works because I don't do that type of logistic job, but definitely I advise you to at least bring it up, because if you don't bring it up at all, you're walking into an empty space. I'm just pointing that out right now. Unless you have friends or family or whoever that will set it up, you're going to be in a weird like bind of like this is not good. So before I pass the mic over to Gabby real fast to talk about just some cons of it, what we could do is for a later episode, we could actually probably bring a planner of some sort, like an actual wedding planner, to kind of go more in depth on certain things of like what their services are and stuff like that. Or we could just, kind of go more in a deep dive if you guys are interested in like full services and stuff like that. But for right now, this is kind of like the logistics of kind of just pros and cons. And then what we could do is actually bring a wedding planner in and kind of talk about just different service fees and different charges and what they do and what they don't do. And then just kind of get in more in deep dive on that. But right now, though, this is kind of like a nice little mini doc of like a wedding planner. So yeah, you said something about like you have like cons or something like that.
Yeah. So you've labeled all the pros, and you can bring those up again after if you want. But just a couple cons, obviously, the budget is number one. So I mean, if it's not going to fit in your budget, if you're going to have to cut something that you already know you want, it's probably not worth it. But if you don't really have a budget or you can fit it in your budget, then it's likely that you're probably going to want one anyways, because it sounds like you're having a bigger, more extravagant type of wedding. Another con, and I think that this is kind of a bigger one, is that you're going to have to relinquish a little bit of control. And depending on who you are as a person, like you may be the type that's just like, I don't want anything to do with this. And I'd rather send, I don't care what happens. I don't care if I walk down the aisle riding on a donkey, doesn't matter. Then it's probably a good idea to send it off to somebody else. But if you're a bit of a control freak and you have a very specific plan in mind, or you're not really willing to compromise, then adding a wedding planner could actually probably make things a lot more stressful for you as a whole. So those are a couple things to consider. Yeah.
And like we said, just kind of concluding everything, hiring a wedding planner tends to be a luxury, not quite a necessity. Like she was just saying, for couples planning a smaller wedding or working with a limited budget, it is probably not a good idea, just to be honest. However, if you can't afford one or looking to ease stress of planning your own wedding, it's more than worth it. Hiring a professional wedding planner, even a day of coordinator, comes with a peace of mind, meaning you can ultimately spend more time enjoying your wedding day festivities with loved ones. So like we said, there are different moments where if you have a big, large, extravagant, very like focused timeline wedding, I would probably get a wedding planner or at least a friend or somebody to kind of help out, like focusing on that. But in all like reality, definitely if you have a smaller wedding, probably is not a good idea, just to be honest. So it's just, there's not much to really like, you know, plan out in a way. So, but if you want to have a wedding planner just to, you know, not to have stress or anything like that, then by all means, get yourself a wedding planner, even if it's a 6-hour wedding in the backyard. Like if you want it, then by all means get it. Like I'm not telling you not to do it or to do it or whatever, but definitely I would advise you to, if it's a larger, definitely do it. But yeah, guys, real fast. This is weddings planner, so definitely there. Like we said, there are pros and cons depending on what you want. Definitely get one if you feel like it's needed. It's definitely just one of those things where it is nice to have it. If you feel like a wedding planner is a little too extreme, then I would definitely go with at least a website of some sort to like at least kind of give you a central hub of learning different things. So
Yeah, and there's always the option too for if you know are ready, you're prepared to plan the entire thing, but just need somebody to kind of watch over the timeline of the day or fix any problems. They offer those as well. So,
which is perfect. But like I said, guys, this is a Ways to Be Perfect podcast. You can find us on YouTube, so please subscribe on YouTube. Give us a like. If you don't like any of the subjects that we talk about, definitely tell us. We'll definitely figure that out. If you guys have any like stories, or if you guys want to send us to koozies, like we said, we're going to have a nice little jar with our koozies with you guys.
I thought you said send us jacuzzis, which is also okay.
That'd be phenomenal if you guys want to send us a jacuzzi, but a koozie of like, you know, some sort, that'd be awesome. That's we came across the mine. I collect them when I shoot them, so it'd be kind of cool if you guys could send that. If all you have to do is just email or comment saying, "Hey, we'd love to send it," we will send you guys an address to send it to us. We are moving, so kind of we're not going to really post our address now. It would make complete no sense for us to give you guys our address now. But we are moving about
in May.
I think.
Mayish.
So, but yeah, we'll get a really cool place, a new place, more cameras, more stuff like that. So it's going to be fun to do. If you guys are wanting to give us a question or have a little segment of like how you guys met, or if you guys want to do like a highlight thing of like your wedding or whatever, definitely email us at weddingsbyperfectpodcast@gmail.com. We'll love to hear it. We'll love to highlight you guys in one of the episodes. If there's a subject or a topic or just something to talk about, we will definitely add it in. We did write a few episodes coming up, so definitely that would be cool just to kind of like throw in some things. If there's a place or, you know, even like a service or something that you may want to hear from, we will definitely do that episode as well. But like I said, this is a Weddings Made Perfect podcast. My name is Ty, and I have Gabby here with me, and we are signing out.